I'm not sure how much help this will be for you, Terry, but I thought I would show you this bracket. Um, it's called the rotating hook and positioning finger bracket. You can see in this one that the bushing for the hook is still in there. It hasn't been removed, and I think that may be an eccentric, so I've never taken it out. But this was in a box of parts I bought off of eBay. I bought a parts machine, a 401A parts machine that had been stripped down, and I bought parts from a 500A, all from the same guy, all in the same box for 20 bucks, you know, years ago. This was years ago. So I am not sure what holds this to the machine. To keep it up against the bed of the machine. You know, there's a place for the set screw, for the adjusting screw. Of course, there's for the hook and the positioning finger. There's a hole back here, but on my 401A, there's not a screw in that hole. This, by the way, is the little spring when you put the positioning bracket for the bobbin case in, and I tell you slide it under a spring. That's what that little clip spring is for right there. There should be a little screw holding it in there. But many years ago, I was given a old beat up 500A, and that's why I bought the parts box. But the only thing I've ever seen like what you're showing me, this was the case. Okay, let's see how I get this back, how you're picturing it. Yeah, like that. That's what you see from the bottom, right? Right. These are the same. This is the same part number. So you see what happened here. This piece, for whatever reason, was broken. I always thought maybe somebody dropped the machine, because it was a pretty beat up piece of junk that somebody gave me. And it still has the bushing but no set screw. But that's what I'm wondering, if that's what if something like that is going on while you're getting movement like that, is if you've got a crack in that piece, maybe not in the same place. I don't know how common or uncommon this is. You know, it's cast aluminum. Seems like it would take a pretty good force to break it like that. But when it sits up into the machine like this, right up against the bed, I've never gone down to this level enough to see exactly what holds it in the machine. You know? I don't know if it's part of the feed dog, or if it's a bracket for the lifter pins, or if it's just all of the parts together. I see you have your bracket out of here, put the needle plate positioning bracket, you know, and I just don't know. So I thought I'd let you see this anyway, just to see what it looks like. There's a set screw missing here. You recognize this to eccentric screw. You loosen the set screw on the front of the machine, and you can kind of turn that to to set your gap and stuff. And this is the, this doesn't have a screw. It should kind of come off of there, I thought. I don't want to force it, but you see this other one has a big old screw that's been taken out. So there's a little bit of differences, even though they're the same part number. And I'm thinking this was from the 401A, the good one, and the broken one was from a 500A. But they are the same part number, and the only thing I see different is the size of the screw hole for that. Let me get the good one back up here and give you just a little tour of it. Right, so this was the set screw that holds the positioning finger, the set screw that holds the bushing for the hook. You saw these, you have your bracket going through there. This would be the end of the post on the positioning bracket when you stick it in there. Right? There's a hole up here, and I don't know if it just fits into a slot or a post that's molded into the bed of the machine to stabilize it, because it can't be a screw, because it would go right through here. You can see all the way through there, you know, and you have your gear sitting right there. So this is what you got underneath all that stuff. You'll see some of these parts on those parts lists that I sent you before. So the only thing that I've seen anything like that was this. So I don't know if that's any help at all, but otherwise I've never personally had it on any machine that I restored. I'm just thinking that old junky beat up machine, that this was already off the machine and in a box of parts. You know, I didn't get the body when I got all the parts from it, and that's why I think it was dropped, because I asked the guy about the body and he said he junked it. You wouldn't want it. That was the eBay seller. So I had the feeling that it just got dropped and the body was no good, maybe damaged too much or torqued or bent, and he just stripped off parts and he sold all the goodies like the motor and the tension and needle bar and stuff, and he had a bunch of shafts and parts like this. I did get the hook for it though, but you know, the whole thing was $20, so okay, that's all I got for you. Good luck, buddy.